The imperial green jade bangle left to me by my grandmother, worth over 20 million yuan, has appeared on Shui Yunxiao's Moments in the photo. That freshly graduated female assistant is holding up a wine glass with a caption so arrogant it stings. "Thank you, President Xie, for your generosity. The professor says this bangle could be traded for several houses. I sent Xie Mingyang a message, return the bangle within 2 hours, or face the consequences." Xie Mingyang read the message but didn't reply. 2 hours later, I stared at my phone screen, my finger hovering over the "Call the police now" button for 3 seconds. Suddenly, there was a commotion at the cocktail party. Through the surveillance feed, I saw Shui Yunxiao being pinned down by the police next to the champagne tower, the alcohol soaking through her borrowed haute couture gown. Since they won't listen to reason, I'll just have to teach them a lesson. 1. Chu Ning, you called the police on Yun Xiao. Xie Mingyang's voice rang out before he even entered the room. His car keys slammed down on the entryway, leaving a dent in the wall. I didn't even bat an eyelash. 2 hours are up. That's my assistant. Xie Mingyang pointed at my nose, roaring furiously. She just got a professor's recommendation letter. Do you know that what you're doing will ruin her? Chu Ning, why are you so vicious? The amount stolen exceeds 20 million. I turned around, my expression calm. Have you read Article 264 of the Criminal Code? Xie Mingyang suddenly grabbed the decanter from the coffee table. The crystal vessel, worth 120,000, shattered at my feet. Red wine spread over my slippers like blood. You have hundreds of pieces of jewelry. What's the big deal about giving Yun Xiao a bracelet? His face twisted. Her advisor is the chairman of the judging committee. Do you have any idea how much effort I put into this? She's just a kid from a small town trying to make it in the city. It's not easy for her. I just want to help her. Chu Ning, when did you become so cold-blooded? Help her, I sneered. You wouldn't know it, but anyone would think she's your lover. College students from small towns are a dime a dozen every year, and every single one of them has a hard time. President Xie, since you're so benevolent, why not sell the Xie Corporation and set up a foundation dedicated to helping children from small towns? Chu Ning, you're simply impossible. Xie Mingyang was left speechless by my retort, turning from embarrassment to anger. 1 year ago today, ignoring him, I casually unlocked my phone screen. On our 3rd wedding anniversary, I waited for you at the Lakeview restaurant for 5 hours, and yet, you were off cheering on Shui Yunxiao. Xie Mingyang's cold smile froze at the corner of his mouth. Chu Ning, are you really jealous of that? That day was Shui Yunxiao's patent defense, and I went to support her. It's just a wedding anniversary, we can celebrate it every year. I was so angry that I was speechless. I swiped to the next photo, where a Cartier blue box gleamed next to the celebration cake. For her patent celebration, you personally made a cake and gave her a bag. It's my birthday, and what you gave me were discount coupons for soon-to-expire products at the supermarket. Xie Mingyang, am I your wife, or is Shui Yunxiao your wife? Do you really need that bag? Xie Mingyang looked up, his face full of impatience. Chu Ning, you're 30 years old. Are you going to nitpick over a young girl? No nitpicking, I smiled, so I just sent her straight to jail. Chu Ning, Xie Mingyang's nostrils flared as he breathed heavily. He grabbed the car keys. I don't want to argue with you right now. I'm going to pick someone up. I'll have the lawyer talk to you tomorrow. Just a reminder. I toyed with the business card of my police station contact. If she gets out before dawn, I will reconsider whether our marriage is still worth continuing. Ah. You threatening me? The door frame trembled under Xie Mingyang's fist. You're the one pushing your luck, I said. I've tolerated you time and again, but you just don't know when to stop. Fine, just fine. Xie Mingyang roared. Chu Ning, I'm so disappointed in you. After saying that, Xie Mingyang stormed out of the house angrily. 2. Xie Mingyang didn't come back all night since there was another surgery the next day. I didn't wait for him and went straight to sleep. I didn't expect the trending searches to explode when I woke up. President Xie meets his young wife at night. In the photo, Shui Yunxiao's face is clearly visible as she gets out of Xie Mingyang's Porsche. Another one is even more glaring. Xie Mingyang is holding her hand as they walk into the hotel. What's even more ironic is that the hotel is part of my family's property. A cold smile curled on my lips as I dialed the lawyer's number. Draft the divorce papers. Now, the truth is, my marriage to Xie Mingyang was never genuine from the start. I'm the only daughter and sole heir to the Chu Group. But I have no interest in business whatsoever. I only want to study medicine and become a doctor. After discussing and weighing the options with my parents, we decided to choose an exceptionally capable husband from a family of equal social standing who can help me take charge of the 2 Corporation. When we have children in the future, the 2 Corporation can then be passed into their hands. Xie Mingyang is the one who was chosen. Although the Xie family still lags far behind our Chu family, I still set my sights on him. He is smart and capable. Under his leadership, the Xie family's market value tripled in just 3 years. When we got married, everyone said it was a powerful alliance. Even I myself thought so later. No matter how many troubles he caused with Shui Yunxiao, I tolerated him. Men have to socialize outside, and playing along for the occasion is normal, but of all things, he should never have touched my sore spot. Just then, my phone rang. It was Xie Mingyang's father. Ningning, I saw the trending post. Don't overthink it. It's definitely just rumors and speculation. Mingyang is a boy who always throws himself into his work. There's no way he would do anything to wrong you. This kind of mess is definitely his fault. Don't worry. I'll make Xie Mingyang explain everything clearly and give you an answer. 2 hours later, Xie Mingyang's parents dragged him through the door. His face was ashen. The moment he stepped inside, he roared at me. Chu Ning, did you buy that trending search? Sitting on the sofa, I didn't even look up. What do you think? Despicable. His expression was twisted, laced with hysterical madness. Chu Ning, you make me sick, using such means to force my compromise. With those words, he rushed over, grabbed the ashtray from the coffee table, and hurled it at me. The ashtray flew past my temple, smashed against the wall, and sent fragments flying in all directions. Xie's father turned pale with shock and slapped Xie Mingyang across the face. Are you crazy? Ningning is your wife. If you dare lay a hand on her, I'll beat you to death. Xie Mingyang covered his face, looking at his father in disbelief. Dad, you hit me. This is clearly her fault. Xie Mingyang's eyes turned red. I gave them a cold glance, frowned, and stood up. No need to go through so much trouble. Let's just sign the agreement directly. No sooner had I finished speaking than the doorbell rang. The lawyer stood at the door, a folder in hand. Young lady, the divorce agreement is ready. Xie Mingyang snapped his head around and stared at me intently. What divorce agreement? Chu Ning, you want to divorce me? I took the documents and tossed them on the coffee table. Sign it. 3. Xie Mingyang stared at the divorce papers, his fingers trembling. I won't sign it. He looked up abruptly, eyes reddening. Chu Ning, it's just a stupid bracelet. You want to divorce me over a bracelet? If you're angry, I'll make it up to you, 10 or 8 identical ones. Let's not get a divorce, okay? I looked up at Xie Mingyang's tear-streaked face, but felt no ripples in my heart. Xie Mingyang, that bracelet was made of premium imperial green jade. It was a gift from my grandmother, given to me with her own hands before she passed away. I told you before. That bracelet was the keepsake my grandmother left for me. When I was young, my parents were always busy with work, and my grandmother took care of me. When I was 16, my grandmother couldn't hold on any longer and passed away. On her deathbed, she held my hand and pressed a bracelet into it. She said, Ningning, Grandma won't be able to stay with you anymore. You must take good care of yourself. Take good care of yourself. Early in the first year of our marriage, I told Xie Mingyang and reminded him that the bracelet was a keepsake left to me by my grandmother. Ningning, I'm sorry. Xie Mingyang's expression suddenly froze. I truly made a mistake. I really know I was wrong. Can you forgive me just this once? Xie Mingyang's posture became submissive, and his voice humbled itself into the dust. Father Xie quickly chimed in. Ningning, Mingyang just had a moment of confusion. Men can be careless. I'll send someone right away to get the bracelet back. Give him another chance. He will definitely correct his ways this time. Definitely. I sneered. Do you really think saying I know I was wrong can erase everything you've done? Don't worry, Ningning, we will definitely resolve the issue with Shui Yunxiao as well. Father Xie then added, afraid that Xie Mingyang might not respond. Father Xie deliberately signaled him with a wink. Xie Mingyang, catching on, took my hand. I'll transfer Shui Yunxiao to the branch office right away, and I'll never see her again. Ningning, let's not get divorced, okay? His tears fell onto the back of my hand. He was truly heartbroken. My heart softened. This is the last time. Seeing that I had given in, Xie Mingyang raised his hand to wipe the tears from his face, and immediately called the company's HR department right in front of me. He had HR arrange for Shui Yunxiao to be transferred to a branch office. That evening, Xie Mingyang also returned the bracelet to me. Over the next half-month, Xie Mingyang truly seemed to have changed into a different person. Come home on time every day, bustling around the kitchen in an apron. Try this. He put a piece of sweet and sour pork ribs into my bowl. I spent the whole afternoon learning how to make it. I looked up at him. There was still flour on his temple, and his eyes were cautious. Yeah, I lowered my head and continued eating. He came to the hospital over the weekend with an insulated lunchbox. Dr. Chu, your husband is here again, the nurse teased with a smile. Xie Mingyang set out the meal containers and also brought me a cup of hand-ground coffee. Your stomach is weak, don't drink the hospital's instant coffee, he said softly. I watched his busy back as the divorce papers slowly gathered dust in the drawer, for life returned to normal, and my career quietly reached the next level. I received a notice from the hospital arranging for me to join a team of experts to attend a medical seminar abroad. It was a rare opportunity, so I gladly accepted. After telling Xie Mingyang, he thoughtfully helped me pack my clothes. On the final day of the international seminar, I received a shocking message. It's a message from the head nurse of the cardiology department at our hospital. Dr. Chu, please advise your mother not to make it hard for the nurses on duty. Our department already has many patients, most of whom are elderly. How can the young nurses take care of only your mother? You're a doctor too, so please try to understand their situation. I was stunned. I hadn't heard from my family that my mother was hospitalized. Moreover, my mother has a very good temper, so there's no way she would make things difficult for a nurse. Feeling confused, I called home. Mom, are you in the hospital? Nonsense. My mother's voice was full of energy. I'm diving in the Maldives. After hanging up on my mother, I texted the head nurse back. Head nurse, my mother isn't hospitalized. Could there be a misunderstanding? Dr. Chu, your spouse personally brought her in. Your spouse has brought you meals before, and we've met several times. We wouldn't mistake them, the head nurse replied. Right after that, the head nurse sent a short video. A permed-haired elderly woman was pointing at a nurse's nose and yelling, "My son-in-law is the CEO of Xie Corporation. If you dare to serve me half-heartedly, believe me, I'll have him buy this hospital and turn it into a toilet. Aren't you nurses just like the maids of ancient times, meant to serve people? So what's the big deal about washing my underwear? My son-in-law has paid for this. This is some VVVIP treatment. You're supposed to serve me. Whatever I tell you to do, you do it." I zoomed in on the screen. That malicious face. I don't recognize it at all. With this mess happening, I was anxious and bewildered at the same time. I couldn't wait to leave with my colleagues, so I flew back home the very day the seminar ended. As soon as the plane landed, I went straight to the hospital. The old lady was still cracking and eating sunflower seeds in the VIP ward, with shells all over the floor. What exactly is your relationship with Xie Mingyang, the president of Xie Corporation? I stopped the head nurse from getting angry. He's my son-in-law. The old lady spat out melon seed shells. My daughter is. I showed the marriage certificate. What a coincidence. My husband is also named Xie Mingyang, and he is also the president of Xie Corporation. Except I didn't know my husband had an extra mother-in-law, or that I had an extra mother. The ward suddenly fell silent. The old lady's sunflower seeds scattered all over the floor. Why you're Chu, seems you know me. I picked up the nameplate by her bed. MS. Zhong Tsuehua. What's your daughter's name? She suddenly grabbed the call bell and hurled it at me. None of your damn business. My daughter is way more capable than you. I sidestepped and nodded to the head nurse. Call the police. Say someone is defrauding medical resources. The police arrived quickly while Zhong Tsuehua was throwing a tantrum. Her daughter rushed in, white dress, silk chiffon scarf. The exact same one I lost last year. Shui Yunxiao. Dr. Chu. Her face turned pale. Weren't you abroad? When did you come back? I smiled. Thanks to you and your mother. I just got back. Xie Mingyang really is something, saying he would send Shui Yunxiao to the branch company. So this is what you were waiting for. The phone rang at the right moment, with Xie Mingyang sending a voice message. Ning, send me your flight number. I'll pick you up at the airport. I pressed the record button. Don't answer it, just come directly to our hospital's VIP room. No. 3. Thank you so much for the surprise you gave me. There was an obvious pause on the other end of the phone. Ning Ning, you already know. 5. Xie Mingyang arrived quickly, and as soon as he entered the hospital room, he took my hand. Ning Ning, let me explain. I shook off his hand. Explain what? Explain how you helped your lover's mother get a VIP ward. Or explain why she calls herself your mother-in-law. Shui Yunxiao suddenly dropped to her knees. Dr. Chu, it's all my fault. My mother is from the countryside and doesn't understand how things work. When she saw Mr. Xie escorting me here, she got the wrong idea. I'm so sorry. Dr. Chu, the old lady clutched her hospital gown and bowed. I'm getting senile. I just wished I could have a son-in-law like Mr. Xie. Xiao Xiao has reached marriageable age, but no matter how much I urged her, she never brought a boyfriend home. This time when I was sick, she and Mr. Xie were so busy taking care of everything, and he looked after me so well. I just thought, at that point, the old lady's voice choked up, and her eyes grew moist. I, an old woman, am not worthy. Chairman Xie is so capable and handsome. How could a country bumpkin like me ever be a match for him? Don't be angry, Dr. Chu. This old woman apologizes to you. Please don't blame Chairman Xie. He only meant well. With these words, the old lady bowed to me again. Auntie, please don't do this. Xie Mingyang's eyes also reddened as he reached out to support the old lady. Yun Xiao is my employee. When she's in difficulty, it's only right for our company to help her. Then he turned his head and looked at me. Ning Ning, medical conditions in the countryside are poor. I was just what? I interrupted him. Just forgot that you're married. Shui Yunxiao stood up abruptly. I'll transfer my mom to another hospital right now. No need. Xie Mingyang held him back. Auntie's illness can't be delayed. He turned to me. Ning Ning, Auntie is getting older. If she goes back to the countryside, it could be life-threatening. In that case, if you're not feeling well, I'll arrange for them to go to the provincial hospital. I sneered. As you wish. That evening, the Moments feed was updated. Shui Yunxiao posted a 9-photo grid. Xie Mingyang peeling an apple in the hospital ward, Xie Mingyang pushing a wheelchair, and Xie Mingyang clinking glasses with her and her daughter at a Michelin-starred restaurant. The caption read, "Grateful to have met you." I zoomed in on the last photo. The wedding ring on Xie Mingyang's ring finger was gone. The phone vibrated with a message from Xie Mingyang. Ning Ning, the provincial hospital expert says surgery is needed. I won't be coming back tonight. It felt like a stone was pressing on my chest, making it hard to breathe. Back when my mother got into a car accident, she had a concussion and a broken leg. She was hospitalized for over 2 weeks. But Xie Mingyang not only didn't take care of her, he only came to visit twice every time. He's always in a rush, saying he's swamped with company matters, that he has projects in hand and simply can't get away. But if it were Shui Yunxiao's mother, he suddenly had time, handling everything personally. If it weren't for that marriage certificate, I would have thought he was Shui Yunxiao's husband. I couldn't hold back any longer, so I dialed Xie Mingyang's number unexpectedly. It was Shui Yunxiao who answered. Where's Xie Mingyang? I asked. Mr. Xie, he's taking a shower. My mom had a strong post-operative reaction just now and accidentally vomited all over him. Shui Yunxiao explained to me, her voice tinged with pride. Mr. Xie said I'm just a young girl, and since my mom just had surgery, he was worried I wouldn't be able to handle it on my own. Dr. Chu, please don't misunderstand. He just feels sorry for me and my mom. President Xie. He, not wanting to listen to Shui Yunxiao's nonsense any longer, I hung up the phone directly. Since that day, I haven't sent Xie Mingyang a single message. He hasn't sent me any messages either. And for 4 days in a row, he hasn't come home. On the other hand, Shui Yunxiao's social media feed is updated daily. The latest post is captioned, "Grateful for the CEO's favoritism." The accompanying picture shows a lounge with an enormous bed inside. I swapped shifts with a colleague and went to the Xie group. Pushing open the door to the CEO's office, I saw Shui Yunxiao sitting in Xie Mingyang's chair, twirling his pen in her hand. When she saw me come in, she stood up abruptly, and through her open collar I could see red marks on her neck. Dr. Chu, Mr. Xie is in a meeting. I glanced at the lounge behind her. The door was ajar, and the sound of water came from inside. Move. Shui Yunxiao blocked the door. This is Mr. Xie's private lounge. You can't. I shoved her aside. The door slammed against the wall. Xie Mingyang stood in front of the mirror wrapped in a bath towel, his hair still dripping. Ning Ning. He grabbed his coat in a panic. Why are you here? I stared at the red marks on his body. Looks like I came at the wrong time. Shui Yunxiao rushed in. Mr. Xie spent the whole night at the hospital taking care of my mother. He has a very important meeting later, so he wanted to take a quick shower and freshen up before going to see. Am I a fool? I interrupted her. Xie Mingyang's hands trembled as he buttoned his shirt. Ningning, don't misunderstand. Everything Yunxiao said is true. Xie Mingyang, you really never change. I raised my hand to stop him. I gave you chance after chance, but you never cherished any of them. Do you think I, Chu Ning, have no temper at all? Chu Ning, can't you be reasonable? Seeing my tough stance, Xie Mingyang also got angry. I've already told you. I only took a shower because I was going to see a client. Why do you never believe me? Indeed, people with dirty minds see everything as dirty. Then Shui Yunxiao also spoke up. Dr. Chu, please don't misunderstand. There's truly nothing going on between us. Whatever you do, don't let this cause a fight with Mr. Xie. Mr. Xie works very hard to give you a good life. Shut up. I glared at Shui Yunxiao and didn't let her continue. He's working hard, probably busy taking care of your mom. After saying that, I turned my head to look at Xie Mingyang. When my mom was hospitalized after the car accident back then, you visited her twice, for a total of less than half an hour, and now, for the sake of an assistant's mother, you've been nursing her day and night for 4 days. I sneered. Anyone wouldn't know otherwise and think you were Shui Yunxiao's live-in son-in-law. Xie Mingyang's face suddenly changed. Chu Ning, do you have to be so harsh? I pointed at the lounge. I'm harsh. Xie Mingyang, don't you have a clue what you've done? You keep claiming you two are innocent, but she's just an assistant, and you've arranged a separate lounge for her. Yunxiao has been exhausted taking care of Auntie. I don't want to hear any more of your nonsense. In short, if you want to prove your innocence, you fire her. I issued my ultimatum. Impossible. Xie Mingyang's voice rose. Firing her at a time like this? Are you trying to drive her and her daughter to their deaths? Shui Yunxiao suddenly knelt down. Dr. Chu, my mother will resign after her surgery. Please don't. I looked at Xie Mingyang. If you don't fire her, then we divorce. Xie Mingyang's lips trembled. Do you really have to be so heartless? I took out my phone and called my lawyer. Draft the divorce agreement. Send it over now. Chu Ning. Xie Mingyang snatched my phone and smashed it to the ground. What else can you do besides threaten me? The moment the screen shattered, the divorce agreement email popped up. Choose. I picked up my phone. Marriage or her? Xie Mingyang's eyes were red as he glared at me, his chest heaving violently. Shui Yunxiao ran over crying and hugged his leg. Mr. Xie, please don't make things difficult. I'll leave right now. Xie Mingyang pushed her away. Shut up. He looked up at me, his eyes bloodshot. Fine, let's get a divorce. I nodded and turned to leave. Behind me, I heard Shui Yunxiao's sobs. President Xie, it's all my fault. Xie Mingyang's voice was weary. It has nothing to do with you. It's just that she never understood me. As the elevator doors closed, I heard him shout, Chu Ning, don't regret this. 7 On the day the divorce cooling-off period ended, Xie Mingyang walked into the Civil Affairs Bureau in a suit. Chu Ning. He suddenly grabbed my wrist. It's not too late to regret it now. I pulled my hand back and tucked the divorce certificate into my bag. Xie Mingyang, do you deserve that? Walking out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, I called my father directly. Dad, pull all the resources we gave the Xie family. There was a few seconds of silence on the other end of the line. What happened? I laid bare everything about Xie Mingyang and Shui Yunxiao, including how he had used my mother's name to arrange a VIP ward for Shui Yunxiao's mother. Unforgivable. Father slammed his hand on the table. What a Xie Mingyang, what a Xie family. If it weren't for the Chu family's support over these years, would Xie Mingyang have reached where he is today? Ungrateful, ingrate, daughter, rest assured. I will never let Xie Mingyang and the Xie family off the hook for such behavior. Half an hour later, the official Weibo account of the Chu Group released an announcement. Effective immediately, all cooperation with the Xie Group is terminated. MS, Chu Ning and Mr. Xie Mingyang have dissolved their marriage. From now on, each family shall go its own separate way. As soon as the news broke, the stock market exploded. The Xie Group's stock price hit the limit down within half an hour, and 3 partners simultaneously announced the termination of their contracts. My phone was blown up by Xie's father. Ningning, Mingyang was in the wrong here. I'll have him Apologized to you. No need, I cut him off, we're already divorced. That same evening, Xie's father showed up in person. The father directly smashed the teacup at his feet. How dare you show your face here after raising such a son? In-laws, the children are young and impulsive. Who are you calling in-laws? The mother sneered. When your son was acting like a dutiful son to that wild fox's mother, did you ever think of us as in-laws? Mr. Xie left with a face ashen with rage the next day. The financial news headline read, Xie Group's capital chain breaks, multiple projects suspended. As I was reading the news, a text message from Xie Mingyang popped up on my phone. Chuning, are you determined to hound me to the bitter end? I replied to him, this is just the beginning. In the afternoon at the hospital, the head nurse stopped me. Dr. Chu, Shui Yunxiao's mother is here again, insisting on staying in the VIP ward. I took out my phone and called the security department. Someone is causing a disturbance. Call the police directly. As the siren echoed through the hospital, Xie Mingyang's Porsche just roared into the parking lot. He rushed up to me, raising his hand to strike. I grabbed his wrist. Chief Xie, intentional assault can lead to detention. Chuning, you're so vicious. His eyes were bloodshot. Yunxiao's mother just had surgery. What's that to me? I shook him off. If you care so much, you should keep her in check and not let her run around biting people. Xie Mingyang suddenly laughed. I get it now. You're just jealous. Jealous of Yun Xiao's youth. Jealous of her. Xie Mingyang, I interrupted him. Right now you look exactly like a hen protecting her chicks. Too bad. I leaned close to his ear. The one you're protecting is a wild pheasant. As he trembled all over, I turned and walked into the elevator. Through the glass, I saw Shui Yunxiao being led into a police car by officers. Xie Mingyang frantically pounded on the elevator door. Chu Ning, you just wait. I pressed the close button and sent him one last text message. I forgot to tell you, the bracelet you brought back is a counterfeit. I have already submitted the evidence to the relevant authorities, and the lawyer will contact you tomorrow to discuss compensation. The moment the elevator doors closed, I heard his hysterical scream. Soon, the Xie Group's capital chain broke, and the banks began demanding debt repayment. It is said that the Xie father and son have been asking for help all over the world, but no one is willing to assist them. On the day news of the Xie family's bankruptcy topped the top search, a torrential rain poured down. The butler came in holding an umbrella. Miss, the young Master Xie has been kneeling outside for an hour. Without even looking up, I said, ignore him. If he likes kneeling so much, let him kneel. Outside, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Xie Mingyang knelt in the rain, drenched to the bone. Ning, he looked up toward my front door and roared hoarsely. No matter whose fault it was, I'm the one to blame. Please, spare the Xie family. Grant us a way out. I turned the pages of a medical journal unhurriedly, finding it utterly boring, too lazy to bother. I got up and went back to my room. Through the glass of the room, I looked down at Xie Mingyang from above. At this moment, he was as wretched as a dog. After our marriage alliance, our Chu family genuinely provided a lot of support to their Xie family. Then there was Xie Mingyang. His unbroken success in the business world was nothing more than people showing deference because he was the Chu family's son-in-law. Unfortunately, he let it go to his head. Now that the Chu family has withdrawn all their support, they want him to realize that without them, he and the Xie family are nothing. Suddenly, a figure burst through the rain. It's Shui Yunxiao. She held an umbrella over Xie Mingyang's head. President Xie, what are you doing? Why are you treating yourself like this? Come with me. If you keep getting drenched, your body won't be able to take it. Listen to me. Let's go. Don't beg her. Xie Mingyang struggled to push her away. What do you know? The Xie family business is doomed. Right now, only Chu Ning can save the Xie family business. No, it won't happen. Shui Yunxiao grabbed his shoulders. Trust me, if we work hard together, we'll definitely be able to make a comeback. Don't you remember, we still have one trump card project in our hands. As long as we gather enough startup capital, everything will get better. Don't be afraid, I'll be with you. We'll face it together. I watched the two people outside with a cold gaze and dialed the security office. Drive away that pair of lovebirds at the entrance. Under the security guard's expulsion, the two finally left. 3 days later, I received a message from Xie Mingyang. I'm married to Yunxiao. Chu Ning, even if you regret it now, there's no possibility for us anymore, along with a photo of the marriage certificate and a wedding photo of him and Shui Yunxiao in the photo. Shui Yunxiao wears a cheap veil, and he wears a rented suit. I don't know where he got the confidence, but it even made me laugh. I replied with congratulations, then directly blocked and deleted all contact information. The world became quiet. Another month passed. One day, I was working the night shift. Since there were no patients, I took out my phone to kill time. Suddenly, I came across Xie Mingyang unexpectedly doing a live stream to sell products. On the screen, Xie Mingyang was promoting shampoo priced at 99 with free shipping. Shui Yunxiao shouted from the side, "Hit that follow button, family." I turned off the livestream the next day. After finishing my night shift, I got home hoping to catch up on sleep, only to hear the doorbell ringing wildly. On the surveillance footage, Xie Mingyang was maniacally pounding on the door. "Chu Ning, are you trying to drive me to death?" I pressed the intercom. "Mr. Xie, does your wife know you're throwing a tantrum at your ex-wife's house?" He suddenly fell to his knees. "The compensation for that bracelet, could it be?" "No," I cut him off. "Hurry up and make money on your livestream, or I'll see you in court." As I turned around, the TV was broadcasting the news. The Xie Group officially declared bankruptcy. Founder Xie is under investigation for alleged misappropriation of funds. A bank notification popped up on my phone. A payment of 20,000,000 yuan has been deposited into your account ending in 8888 as a settlement claim. 9. After receiving the compensation, I no longer paid attention to news about Xie Mingyang and the Xie family, and applied to the Institute for a study program in the UK. The dean patted me on the shoulder and said, "Young people should go out and see more of the world. The department fully supports you." When I told my parents, I thought they wouldn't agree. Unexpectedly, they were very supportive. On the day of departure, my parents personally saw me off at the airport before boarding. My mother took my hand with a smile. "Your Uncle Gu's son, Ji Yin, is also in the UK. I've already spoken to him. He'll come pick you up once you arrive." Mom, of course I knew what she was thinking, and was about to refuse. "Listen to me. Ian is also going to England for training this year. Uncle Gu has handed over the company's UK operations to him. After all, you'll be in a foreign country. If you two can look out for each other, your father and I can rest assured. You're a girl, alone out there, and we can't help but worry. Just think of it as making a friend." Mom blinked. "He has a good personality. I'm sure you'll get along." My mother said so I nodded in agreement. After flying for over 10 hours, the plane landed at Heathrow Airport. I dragged my luggage out and saw from a distance a young man in a beige trench coat holding a sign, "Pick up Dr. Chu, Jiu Yin." I walked over. He looked up and gave a faint smile. "Ning Ning, long time no see." Only then did I remember that we had indeed met when we were children. Jiu Yin neatly put away my luggage for me and even arranged my accommodation right across the hall from him. He said it was at the request of the elders in the family, for us to live close by, so it would be convenient to look after each other. Jiu Yin really had a great personality. Just as my mom had said, on weekdays, we each went to work or class, only getting together on weekends when we had free time. He would take me out for local street food late at night, bring me hot soup when I was on the night shift, and quietly stay with me to watch the sunset over the River Thames after a failed surgery. Ning Ning, one night while we were stargazing, he suddenly turned his head and said, "I like you." I froze. He leaned in, giving me a light kiss on the lips. No need to answer now. After a year of advanced studies, on the flight back home, I held Jiu Yin's hand. "Come home with me." He smiled slyly. "I've been waiting for you to say that for a long time." And I, without even realizing it, had grown fond of this gentle young man. Our wedding was set for 3 months later. On the day of the wedding dress fitting, I twirled in a mermaid gown and asked, "Does it look good?" "Beautiful," he said, helping me adjust the veil. Suddenly, the dressing room door burst open. Xie Mingyang rushed in, looking disheveled. "Chu Ning, you can't get married." The security guard chased after him. "This sir forced his way in. Shui Yunxiao and I are divorced." Xie Mingyang grabbed my sleeve. "I was wrong. I still love you the most." Jiu Yin raised an eyebrow. "And this is ex-husband." I pulled away from Xie Mingyang's hand. "Security, throw him out." Xie Mingyang was still shouting as he was dragged away. "Have you forgotten our past?" Jiu Yin, seeming a bit jealous, stood on tiptoe to kiss me. "I don't care. From now on, you're only allowed to think of me, whatever ex-husband or next husband. They'll just have to step aside." I was charmed by his cuteness and gave a peck on his lips. There's no ex-husband or future husband, only my husband Ji Yu Yin, Chu Ning's most beloved Ji Yu Yin. After saying that, I leaned in and kissed his lips again. 10 time flies. In the blink of an eye, the day of our wedding had arrived. I hadn't expected Xie Mingyang to show up again. He raised his glass and rushed onto the stage. I object to this marriage. Chu Ning, you can't marry someone else. I am your husband, and you are my wife. Chu Ning, the security guard, with keen awareness, rushed over and dragged Xie Mingyang away, snuggling in Ji Yu Yin's arms. I nodded to the MC. Continue, the MC announced loudly. The groom may now kiss the bride. Amidst the blessings of the crowd, Ji Yu Yin lowered his head and kissed me. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Xie Mingyang being dragged out of the banquet hall by security. When we returned home that evening, Ji Yu Yin suddenly laughed while scrolling through his phone. Look at the trending topic. Xie Mingyang detained for causing a scene at ex-wife's wedding. Former president of the Xie family faces backlash after failed sob story livestream. I turned off my phone and nestled into Ji Yu Yin's arms. An insignificant person, not worth mentioning. We have more important things to do. Ji Yu Yin reversed our positions and pinned me beneath him. Fine, I promise I won't disappoint my wife tonight. We spent our wedding night in a blissful haze of sweetness, then went to France for our honeymoon. By the time we returned, half a year had already passed. In my belly, I was already carrying the fruit of our love. When both sets of parents heard the news, they were overjoyed like children, especially my father-in-law and mother-in-law. My father-in-law and mother-in-law specifically reminded Ji Yu Yin that he must take good care of me. Ji Yu Yin kept his parents' advice in mind and wrote down all the important precautions to take during pregnancy. He recorded all my prenatal checkup appointments in his memo. When I was 6 months pregnant, I heard news about Shui Yunxiao again. I was at my prenatal checkup that day, and right after finishing the 4D ultrasound, I saw a commotion break out in the hospital lobby. A bloody person was lying on a stretcher, being rushed by doctors and nurses to the emergency room. I heard they had been stabbed over a dozen times, their internal organs riddled with wounds. Afraid that Ji Yu Yin might scare me and the baby in my belly, he covered my eyes and took me home. In the evening, a colleague from the hospital sent me a message. The person who was stabbed more than a dozen times this morning turned out to be Shui Yunxiao, and the one who stabbed Shui Yunxiao more than a dozen times was none other than Xie Mingyang, because Shui Yunxiao had stolen Xie Mingyang's project proposal and sold it to his rival, and that project was Xie Mingyang's last hope. Not only that, but Shui Yunxiao also tricked Xie Mingyang into taking out a loan from loan sharks, claiming it would be used as startup capital for the project. But as soon as the money arrived, Shui Yunxiao transferred it away without Xie Mingyang's knowledge. Shui Yunxiao had originally planned to take the money from selling the project, along with the loan shark money Xie Mingyang borrowed, and flee abroad with her mother. Unexpectedly, the two were stopped by Xie Mingyang at the airport. Xie Mingyang couldn't handle the blow and stabbed Shui Yunxiao and her mother on the spot. Shui Yunxiao's mother died instantly, and Shui Yunxiao was left in critical condition. Judging by the scene, she probably won't survive either. As for Xie Mingyang, he was arrested immediately. With 2 deaths on his hands, a severe punishment is inevitable. After my colleague finished speaking, I couldn't help but feel a wave of emotion. I didn't take it too seriously, just smiled at that moment. Ji Yu Yin walked over carrying a glass of milk. The little one in my stomach suddenly kicked me, and I furrowed my brows. What's wrong? Is your stomach hurting? Ji Yu Yin sat down beside me anxiously, supporting my waist. I shook my head and placed his hand on my belly. I'm not uncomfortable, it's the baby moving. Ha, baby, I'm your dad. Ji Yu Yin lowered his head, pressing his face against my belly, and waved to the baby through my abdomen. The baby was very considerate and gave him another kick. We looked at each other and smiled with a tacit understanding. To me, Xie Mingyang and Shui Yunxi have long been matters of the past, fleeting as smoke. Now I have Ji Yu Yin and our baby. What awaits me is a happy life filled with sunshine. Next, listen to the next story. On the 3rd day after our wedding, my husband took his secretary to an island honeymoon. When I received his call saying he was about to board the plane, I calmly said Amham. On the other end of the line, the secretary's nasal, coquettish apology came through. Mrs. Pei, it's all my fault for booking the wrong tickets. Please don't blame Mr. Pei. The mistake is mine. Pei Jingyao soothed her in a low voice for a long time, then said to me with a hint of impatience, "Xiao Xiao, don't be unreasonable, tickets for tomorrow are the same." The next day, the only thing that arrived at the island was a single divorce agreement, all because of such a trivial matter. Just because of such a trivial matter. Half a month later, I saw Pei Jingyao again. As soon as I entered the house, he instinctively frowned, his face cold, and began to question me. It was as if I were not his newlywed wife, but rather someone he was negotiating with, or even his subordinate. "Xiao Xiao, you haven't worked for 3 years, how would you live without me?" Pei Jingyao approached, lowering his gaze to look at me, forcefully suppressing the impatience in his eyes. "Lin Xiao," he said gently, "if you can't get past the honeymoon incident, I apologize. You know that President Li from Shengfeng was also vacationing on the island at the time. The reason I haven't come back these days is solely to secure the partnership, not because I meant to treat you that way. Besides, Yu Jing booked your flight for the next day, and you still threw a tantrum, refusing to go, deliberately threatening me with divorce," he said reproachfully. He patiently explained, always believing it was the issue with that flight trip. He even thought I was the one throwing a tantrum. The day he found out the flight tickets were booked incorrectly, he agreed to cancel and change them. But I still saw the chat records with his secretary Yu Jing on his phone. "President Pei, if I change my ticket, I won't be able to fly with you, and I've never flown for such a long time alone. I'm scared." "It's okay, I'll accompany you." Pei Jingyao's response was as reassuring and confident as ever. "Unfortunately, not for me." I don't want to explain any further. I leaned down, opened the drawer, and took out a new divorce agreement. I signed it and handed it to him. "I've already hired a lawyer, just handle the specific asset division with them. The company has come this far thanks in part to your efforts. You can rest assured when it comes to the assets." Pei Jingyao looked down at me and said, "Lin Xiao, have you thought this through? We've been married less than a month, and you want a divorce. If that's the case, why did you bother getting married in the first place?" "Why get married? You should ask Pei Jingyao. Half a year ago, I already tried to break up with him because of Yu Jing, but Pei Jingyao held me and cried, begging me to stay, saying he couldn't live without me. There's really nothing between me and Yu Jing, it's just a superior-subordinate relationship. There was a heavy rain, and I just gave her a ride home because I felt sorry for her. I swear, there won't be a next time. Xiao Xiao, don't leave me, I love you." To prove it, Yu Jing was even transferred to a subsidiary under the group. Changing to a male secretary even became a topic of gossip throughout the company. Within just 5 months, proposing, getting engaged, and getting married. Pei Jingyao prepared for all of it in rapid succession. He once created a loving and sweet, dreamlike married life for me. That's how our wedding came about just half a month ago. I admit, 8 years of memories aren't so easily forgotten, and I truly can't bear to let go. And Pei Jingyao should be grateful that people have the ability to remember the past, but he could only use this golden ticket once. Looking at the home I had once decorated with my own hands, I found it impossible to even start. Any single object could open the floodgates of my memories. After sitting quietly for a while, I got up, packed a few simple items of clothing, and dragged my suitcase out the door. Pei Jingyao stood at the door, watching with cold eyes. "Do you really have to act this way? As soon as I come back, you want to leave. Do you have to make such a fuss?" Lin Xiao, hearing this, I only felt exhausted. He still thought I was a child using leaving as a threat. "Think whatever you want, don't forget to sign the divorce agreement." With that said, I turned and left. I abandoned everything. The house I had painstakingly decorated and the 8-year relationship I had carefully nurtured. He thought I didn't know, but on the very second day of our marriage, Pei Jingyao had already eagerly transferred Yu Jing back to his side. He thought I couldn't see it, but the dense chat logs from the past year had long crossed the boundary between superior and subordinate. He thought I didn't know that the day we flew to the island was Yu Jing's birthday, and that night, they stayed in a suite together. Oh, right, there's more. That night, Yu Jing had already sent me the photo of Pei Jingyao covered in hickeys. The honeymoon trip that should have been mine is being experienced by someone else instead, and she's live-streaming it on Moments in real time. She's making pretty good use of such a great chance to provoke me, but it's just a man who changed his mind. Let her have him. But clearly, Yu Jing didn't want to let me off. "Xiao Xiao, what a coincidence. I didn't expect to run into you at the hospital. Have you been quarreling with President Pei lately and made yourself sick? As she spoke, she deliberately held up the ultrasound report in her hand. President Pei is really something. I've only just gotten pregnant, and he's already rushing me to get checked up, afraid the baby might suffer any discomfort. Watching me fall silent, Lin Jing pressed on, thinking she had the upper hand. Oh right, Xiao Xiao, I have to thank you for setting up the house so perfectly. Living there has really lifted my spirits. I looked up. Are you done? Perhaps due to these recent provocations, my lack of response has given her the illusion that she has the upper hand. Unfortunately for her, I'm not a pushover. The only reason I haven't confronted her is that I find it beneath me. I'm afraid of lowering my standard, but since it was danced right in my face, there was really no need to hold back any longer. Smack! I slapped her right across the face. She stood there stunned for a long time. You hit me. What gives you the right? I looked down at her, casting a sidelong glance. For one simple reason, until the assets are divided, I am still Mrs. Pei. Eager to give yourself away before even securing the position, is that something to be proud of? Be careful, I might just endure the disgust and stay married, and you'll never get that position, however you moved in. That's how you'll have to move out. Unexpectedly, I was this tough. Yu Jing was so stung by my retort that she was left speechless, her face turning bright red. Oh, right, that designer bag you're carrying, the lambskin leather shoes you're wearing, and even the money for your medical checkup. Pei Jingyao must have given it all to you. That's all marital property. Thanks to the photos you sent me, there's enough proof that Pei Jingyao was unfaithful during our marriage. You wanting to get into some man's bed is your business, but don't come trying to disgust me. Otherwise, one day when I decide to seriously settle this score, the consequences will be beyond your resilience. Besides, what you stole was my troubles, not my man. Yu Jing was stunned, her face twisted with jealousy and terror, no longer holding the smug superiority she had shown earlier. After confronting Yu Jing, she felt a surge of satisfaction, but when she turned around, she saw Pei Jingyao at the doorway. His eyes slightly red. After returning from the hospital, Pei Jingyao kept trying to contact me, but I didn't give him a chance to explain. The constant phone harassment eventually made me block him. Feeling restless staying alone, I casually bought a plane ticket and headed to an unknown small city. Ever since I started dating Pei Jingyao 8 years ago, I have lost the right to think for myself due to various reasons given by Pei Jingyao. He cannot marry me, yet it has already made me live the life of a housewife. She is skilled at cooking delicious meals, provides considerate emotional support, and is a devoted wife who can endure hardship together. In Pei Jingyao's circle, everyone says he has a virtuous wife. However, they do not show me much respect. I once heard Pei Jingyao's friends lamenting on his behalf. What a shame, brother Pei, you've fallen into a monotonous life at such a young age. Your wife is virtuous, sure, but way too dull. Nothing new besides asking what you want to eat or wear every day. Doesn't it get on your nerves? How about I introduce you to someone interesting? Bro, I recently interviewed a new secretary. Super hot, super spicy, 100 times better looking than Lin Xiao. What do you say? Want me to set you up? He didn't catch what Pei Jingyao said in reply, but after that, a secretary with the surname Yu came to work by his side. After finding a good place to live, I began to quietly reflect on the events of the past few years. Many small details I had overlooked surfaced one by one in my mind. In this relationship, only the first few years were truly sincere. Maybe even I didn't realize it. It had actually gone bad long ago. From the moment I lost myself and had eyes only for Pei Jingyao, I had already fallen behind, willingly plunging into the abyss. This distorted way of getting along could not last long. In the end, thinking this way, I drifted into sleep, but this sleep was anything but restful. I had many bizarre and haunting dreams at 10, laughing and joking around with friends at 12, the resentment when my father brought home my stepmother. I knew I no longer had a home at 19, the breathtaking moment when I first saw Pei Jingyao at 20 years old. Pei Jingyao wanted to start a business, and I was exhausted from working 3 jobs a day at 26 years old. There was the happiness of my wedding to Pei Jingyao and also a piercing ringtone. I was jolted awake from my sleep, and I irritably reached for my phone on the bedside table. It was an unfamiliar short number. I pressed answer, and a polite voice on the other end asked, "Excuse me, is this Mrs. Pei? I'm a nurse from the Second People's Hospital. Last time you accompanied your husband for a health checkup, they noticed a shadow in his stomach. For safety's sake, we recommend that Mr. Pei come to the hospital for a more detailed examination." The nurse had a very pleasant voice. My fingers tightened around the phone, a knot of worry forming, followed by an inexplicable sense of self-mockery and fatigue. As I came to my senses not long ago, he mentioned that his stomach often felt uncomfortable. After some coaxing and cajoling, I finally managed to persuade Pei Jingyao to take half a day off for a physical checkup. I looked at the sunlight evenly spreading outside the window and softly said, "Sorry, we're already divorced. Please direct this question to Pei Jingyao himself." "Ah," the nurse said, a bit embarrassed. "Then could you please provide Mr. Pei's contact information?" At the time, only your mobile number was left. I recited Pei Jingyao's phone number with ease, apologized to the nurse again, then raised my hand to end the call. I don't know what Pei Jingyao was thinking, harassing me while the new girl is right by his side. After blocking him, he switched to another number and called again. Being indecisive and hesitant, that's something Pei Jingyao would do in a relationship. The call connected and the other end fell silent for a few seconds. Just as I was losing patience and about to hang up, Pei Jingyao's voice came through. "Lin Xiao." He called my name in a low voice. "That day at the hospital, it wasn't what you think. I can explain." Mr. Pei," I interrupted him. "Between us, perhaps there's no need to talk about such things. Keep your explanations for your next wife, Xiao Xiao." Not wanting to give him a chance to speak, I continued, "Next time you contact me, I hope it's with good news, like you finally agreeing to a swift divorce. Other than that, we have nothing to say to each other." I hung up the phone, yet there was an indescribable rage in my heart. After 8 years of a long-distance relationship, only now have I seen through the greed hidden beneath his deep affection. He wants it all, every last bit, reluctant to let go of Yujing's tender embrace, yet unwilling to give up on the 8 years he and I shared. No, to him I might just be a well-attuned babysitter. During this entire week of phone calls, he acted as if nothing had happened. It seemed like he had just woken up, asking me in a low, hoarse voice, "Lin Xiao, where did I put the jewelry I was going to give to the client last month?" It seemed like he had just finished a drinking session, and ordered me hoarsely, "Lin Xiao, my stomach feels terrible. Where's the stomach medicine at home? Lin Xiao, I don't like the breakfast at home. I want to drink the kanji you make." I was furiously angry. I tried my best to stay calm, but my trembling hands had already betrayed my emotions. Suppressing my anger, I said every word deliberately, "Pei Jingyao, I've already filed for divorce. What you do has nothing to do with me. I'm not your babysitter. If you can't find something or your stomach hurts, that's your problem. If you need something, go find Yu Jing. Don't come to me with your nonsense. My lawyer has contacted you 3 times, and you've refused every time. This is my last reminder. Otherwise, I won't hesitate to take this to court." I don't know what exactly you're trying to do, whether you've gotten used to having a free babysitter, or you're hoping to have your cake and eat it too. Pei Jingyao, don't make me revise my opinion of you yet again. Let's part on good terms. After hanging up the last call, I opened the SIM card slot on my phone, took out the card, snapped it in two, and threw it into the trash. The last remnants of affection were completely drained by Pei Jingyao's relentless phone calls. It's not that he can't bear to let me go. All of this is nothing more than a man's selfish harassment. He has simply grown accustomed to being looked after. I got a new card and bought a plane ticket. I flew to an island I'd always wanted to visit, which Pei Jingyao and I had agreed upon on our 5th anniversary. When we first talked about it, his eyes were full of tenderness. I immediately started looking up travel guides. However, at that time, the company was just getting off the ground, and I didn't want to hold back his career. "It's a deal then. We'll have our honeymoon on this island. You better not lie to me, or I'll go alone and never speak to you again." Pei Jingyao's eyes glinted with a smile as he put his arm around my shoulder. "Don't worry, Xiao Xiao, I'll keep my word." Back then, I was sure we would go, having weathered the hardest years. The future ahead was nothing but smooth roads. Unexpectedly, it really ended up with me going alone. Words spoken in love only hold weight when love exists. It doesn't matter anymore. The day I set off for the island, the sky is clear and the air is fresh. The flight was smooth all the way, and I enjoyed a good night's sleep after a long time, breaking free from those terrifying nightmares for the first time in a month. Waves leap and sparkle. I did not stay in a five-star hotel. Instead, I chose a seaside homestay, taking a solitary walk along the coastline, sitting under the setting sun, waiting for night to fall, gazing at the bright moonlight I haven't seen in so long. The golden sunrise is warm, and the clouds where the sea meets the sky are so radiant they turn me pink. There are no towering skyscrapers here, no indulgence in pleasures, fame, wealth, or power. The number of fishermen on the island is small, though they may appear taciturn. Each is simple and kind-hearted, often wearing a gentle smile on their faces. A busy fisherman, and a wife waiting for her husband's return by the kitchen smoke. Undeniably, my standard of living has risen higher and higher over the years, exposing me to many facets of high society. But along with the money has come a cold, empty home, and a chat log filled with green bubbles. Only my own messages. After all, it has changed beyond recognition. But now, the fishermen's cries and the roar of engines, the scorched fish and the churning waves, have shown me a more vivid and expansive world. I know that with Pei Jingyao's resources, he will still find out where I am, but it no longer matters. During this time, I became very good friends with the homestay owner and his family. At their invitation, I tried going out to sea on a fishing boat for the first time. I get extremely seasick, my head spins, my vision blurs, and my stomach churns violently. I feel like I'm about to throw up my guts before it finally stops. But once the boat departs, there's no turning back. Finally arriving at the sea area where the fish traps are set, not until I personally lifted the heavy traps from the icy seawater, listening to the Bandby owner and his daughter celebrating today's bountiful catch. Small fish shimmering with silver light, and shrimp and crabs in brilliant colors. In the midst of this warm and chaotic joy, I finally couldn't hold back my tears and quickly wiped them from my face, but the tears still kept falling in a flurry. I hurriedly turned my head away so that the father and daughter wouldn't see me. The long-suppressed emotions were finally released, a profound feeling that from this moment on, my rust-covered heart has begun to beat again, even if betrayed, even if dreams shatter in an instant. But there are still other joys worth celebrating, aren't there? After returning, I became my true self again. For example, I picked up the teaching certification I had long neglected, and the sculpture I had given up on. For example, I got a little cat and a little dog. Before getting together with Pei Jingyao, I used to be a bright and carefree girl, curious about everything, seeing vitality in all things. Only later, suffering in the wrong kind of love, trapping myself by his side, losing even my free will. What ideals and hobbies are there to speak of now? One cat, one dog, and me, free. How I regret not having broken free from Pei Jingyao sooner. Puppies and kittens are not like humans. Once they have chosen you, they will never neglect you, nor will they betray you. If you give them love, they will only return it tenfold. And seeing Pei Jingyao again, it's right downstairs from my apartment. I was just about to head to the library to study for the teaching certification exam, when I opened the door and saw Pei Jingyao standing right outside. In his hand, he was holding a document, agreed to the divorce. I was sitting across from Pei Jingyao, a hint of relief in my voice. Pei Jingyao was looking around my home, his gaze finally settling on the cat lazily sunbathing on the windowsill. He snapped back to attention upon hearing my words. Xiao Xiao, seeing that you're doing well, I'm at ease. I furrowed my brow. Don't dodge the question. No, Xiao Xiao, I don't want a divorce. Pei Jingyao, I looked straight at him. Do you still remember what I said last time? Don't make me look down on you even more. I won't go back. Can't you understand that? Pei Jingyao lowered his head slightly and said, I can't live without you. Xiao Xiao, I smiled. What about your Yu Jing? Can you really let her go? Or is it that you, President Pei, simply prefer the thrill of an affair, so you insist on making me part of your little game? Pei Jingyao stood up and hastily explained. Xiao Xiao, she is not you. I have already asked her to leave. Enough, stop talking. I interrupted him. I picked up my phone and called the security guard and had Pei Jingyao escorted out. Tell the security guard, please remember this person's face from now on and don't let him in again. Pei Jingyao was unwilling to leave. He opened his mouth but ultimately said nothing. I didn't even look at him, slammed the door shut. I won't look back, let alone go soft. But seeing him again would still break my heart. I can't help but think back to those years when we treated each other with sincerity. The first year we lived in a basement together and ate at street stalls, he would get so excited about selling an extra 50 yuan that he'd joyfully spin me around in his arms. Young, full of ambition, he vowed to create a better life. The 5th year, the company moved from a storefront to a floor in a building, to taking over an entire building. He promised me a grand wedding and an honorable entrance into his family. Year 7, he hired a new secretary, started frequent socializing, and stayed out all night. Are you coming home for dinner today? I made your favorite perilla porridge. Are you still in a meeting? Why aren't you replying to my messages? Pei Jingyao. What exactly are you doing? Who is that woman? Why did she get out of your car? No response. Ever since the security guard refused to let Pei Jingyao in, he bought an apartment in a different building in the same neighborhood as mine. They began showing up at my doorstep more brazenly. Seeing me come out, they quickly handed over a steaming bowl of porridge. This is perilla porridge I learned to make myself. Tell me how it tastes. Sometimes they would wait by the door, offering to walk my dog for me. I coldly brushed past him, acting as if I hadn't seen him at all. The aunt across the hall had been watching for a while and noticed a man often showing up furtively at my doorstep, so she enthusiastically called the police for me. When the police arrived, Pei Jingyao said he was my husband, but the aunt across the hall looked doubtful. What is my husband being so sneaky about? He must be up to no good. I told them truthfully, this is my ex-husband who cheated on me. The police officer looked at Pei Jingyao with a complicated expression. If you knew it would come to this, why did you do it in the first place? After giving Pei Jingyao a verbal warning, they let the matter drop. He waited for me at the door. As his actions did not warrant detention, it was the auntie across the hall who felt indignant on my behalf. She added me on her contacts, and every time Pei Jingyao blocked my doorway, she would tip me off in advance, telling me not to go out. I thanked her warmly and told her it was all right. It's all in the past. If he wants to wait, let him. I don't care. The company is growing bigger and bigger. Pei Jingyao doesn't have time to keep pestering me. Many times, I could hear him handling business matters outside the door. One phone call after another kept coming in. Among them were calls from Yu Jing. Every time Pei Jingyao answered, he had just one sentence: I told you, don't bother me again. When it came to others' feelings, he was utterly decisive. It's a pity that one cannot judge others by oneself now. In my eyes, he is just as annoying as Yu Jing pestering him. Later on, he started smoking. The smell of smoke in the stairwell grew stronger day by day. The aunt across the hall is complaining endlessly. The dog itself has asthma and can't stand the smell of smoke. Hoping to minimize contact with Pei Jingyao, I decided to endure it a little longer. Finally unable to bear it any longer, I opened the door and threw a basin of water out. Pei Jingyao, what kind of devoted lover act are you putting on now? You were the one who fell out of love first. And you were the one who cheated. You know full well what you did with Yu Jing on that island. At the hospital, Yu Jing said she was carrying your child. I know all about it. After doing all these things, you still dare to come back and seek my forgiveness. Are you so sure I still have feelings for you? Pei Jingyao looked up, his hair still dripping water, his eyes gradually dimming, and his face full of regret. Xiao Xiao, let me explain, he continued. Yu Jing's pregnancy was fake. She lied to you. But you cheating on me was real, wasn't it? Pei Jingyao left, perhaps because his deeds were exposed. He had no words to face me. He didn't show up again for 5 days in a row. Finally enjoying a period of peace and quiet after returning from the island, I began preparing for the teacher certification exam. I loved children. Before meeting Pei Jingyao, my dream was to become a teacher. Without the influence of emotions, the more immersed I become in my studies, the faster each day flies by. Yet I feel richly rewarded. Time flows swiftly, like an arrow. Before I knew it, the written exam had arrived. After 3 exams, as the papers were handed in, the others' faces showed either excitement or disappointment, and my heart is filled only with calm. In any case, I did my best. The results came out very quickly. I passed all 3 subjects on the first exam. I had planned to go out to buy some groceries and celebrate properly at home, but as soon as I opened the door, I ran into Yu Jing, who had come looking for trouble. She looked haggard, and her hair was even more disheveled from running in a hurry. How did you find my home? Where is Pei Jingyao? Where has he gone? Is he at your place? I can't find Pei Jingyao. You should call him instead of demanding answers from me. Lin Xiao, don't think I don't know what you're doing. You're pretending to step back. But in reality, you don't want a divorce at all. I frowned and smiled disdainfully. Yes, you're right about everything. I looked at this woman who had once taken my husband away and had always seen me as a thorn in her side. I truly felt no goodwill toward her. Let me say it again. Pei Jingyao and I no longer have any kind of relationship. If there's someone who can't let go, it's him, not me. I actually wish he'd move on already, so I wouldn't have one person after another bothering me endlessly. Yu Jing really knew how to pick up on the key points. Wretch, she said venomously, and you claimed you haven't seen Jing Yao. You just gave yourself away. He clearly came to see you. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Ding, the elevator doors opened, and who else walked out but Pei Jingyao? He was holding flowers in his arms, along with a cake decorated with drawings of my dog and cat. Xiao Xiao, I heard you passed the exam, so I'm here to congratulate you. I acted as if I hadn't heard, didn't even spare him a glance. Pei Jingyao's expression faltered as he clearly saw Yu Jing at the door with a cold expression. He said, why are you here? I've made myself very clear. I don't love you, and we're done. Jingyao, that's not true, is it? You love me. It must be that bitch Lin Xiao seducing you. Again, I have no patience to keep entangled with them. I closed the door and pressed the elevator button. Yu Jing still held onto Pei Jingyao tightly. Just as I had hoped, the elevator arrived at the moment the doors closed. Pei Jingyao squeezed inside. He took my hand, lowered his posture, and softly asked, Xiao Xiao, that was just a little hiccup. Don't mind it. Can we have dinner together tonight? His eyes looked at me with anticipation, trying to press the flowers into my hand. I pulled my hand away and avoided him. I'm very busy. I don't have time. Cake, thank you. But Mr. Pei should enjoy it with Miss Yu. Perhaps unwilling to give up. The next day, Pei Jingyao appeared at my doorstep again. Xiao Xiao, I still want to give it another try. I know all of this is my fault. Please give me another chance. Okay, can we start over? I looked at him quietly and said, Mr. Pei, my stance has already been made very clear. Pei Jingyao's eyes were red, and tears were about to spill over. He rarely sheds tears. The only time I saw him cry was 6 months ago when he tried to win me back. I was moved at the time, but the outcome was still unfortunate. Thus, crocodile tears can hardly be trusted. Staring intently at Pei Jingyao, it was rare to see him so unkempt, with his hair sticking up in a mess, a grey suit paired with a red tie, nor is it as neatly pressed as before. In the past, every outfit he wore was ironed and matched by me, but now, I only feel exhausted, wondering when he would be able to leave. Pei Jingyao looked at me ruefully. Xiao Xiao, I love you. Ha, he says he loves me. He used to say he loved me, too. The first time he met Yu Jing, he was drunk and said, Xiao Xiao, I love you. But look at Yu Jing. She's witty and charming. Well, look at you now. Later, we got married. When Yu Jing heard about it, she went to a bar to drown her sorrows. That was when he said, Lin Xiao, I love you. But Yu Jing is alone at the bar, and that's too dangerous. She needs me. Every time, every place. Over these past few years, when he said he loved me, there were traces of someone else in his eyes, as if loving me was the moral shackle he had to bear. As long as he said he loved me, his wandering heart for Jing wouldn't be considered a transgression. Ridiculous. I used to think the same way. Love makes me willingly confine myself within bounds, and Pei Jingyao was nothing more than a spiritual escape. So for the first time, I swallowed this thorn, because I couldn't bear to see 8 years of devoted feelings turn to nothing. Seeing the tears in Pei Jingyao's eyes, I was convinced he still loved me. A fall into a pit, a gain in your wit. So now, I don't feel sorry for him. Pei Jingyao might have loved me, but compared to his pride and greed, he is just used to my meticulous care and constant companionship in this relationship. He has always been taking. It's not that he doesn't love me, he just loves himself more. After achieving career success, he felt that being with me would be doing himself a disservice. He was even more eager to taste just how delicate the wildflowers outside could be. Of course, my suffering was brought upon myself. Choosing the wrong person and wallowing in self-degradation, I deserve to be wronged in love, but now, I have endured the wrongs. And the pain is here as well. I just want to get rid of Pei Jingyao and start a new life. Pei Jingyao, let's break up, let's save some dignity for each other. Pei Jingyao had always been a proud person. He can understand my words and see my attitude clearly. I never saw Pei Jingyao again after that, but I received word that he agreed to the divorce. All the assets go to me, except for the villa we lived in. Upon hearing that news of our divorce broke, all my friends were voicing their indignation on his behalf. Online comments also praise President Pei as a good man, having given almost all his property to his ex-wife in the divorce. I just smile when I hear this. Who can refuse property that comes knocking at the door, especially since all of this was given willingly? Life goes on as usual. After passing the written exam, there's still the teaching qualification interview. On the day I received my teaching qualification certificate, I packed my bags and sold my property in North Beijing with my dog and cat. I flew to that island. At the entrance of the island's fishing village, purchased a piece of land and built a school, interviewed candidates in person, hired many caring and hardworking teachers with high salaries. In this way, the children of the fishing village no longer have to travel by boat to go to school outside the island, and I have stayed as well. Teacher Lin, look, my dad caught a beautiful fish at sea. I think it's as beautiful as you, so I wanted to give it to you. Teacher Lin, I scored 90 on this math test. Please praise me. Teacher Lin, I want to study hard so that when I grow up, I can become a good teacher just like you. Teacher Lin, I have good news. Our fishing village is going to be developed too. Mom says they're going to build a really, really big building. I've never seen a big building before. Spending time with innocent children is the easiest thing in the world, and the heartfelt affirmation from the children gave me immense courage and determination. That relationship, that city, it felt like nothing but a nightmare now. The nightmare is over. What remains in reality is only the boundless morning sun and a path paved with starlight. Mountains have their peaks, and lakes have their distant shores. On the long journey of life, all things have their turns. Extra. Pei Jingyao. At 19, I met Lin Xiao and fell in love at first sight. Witty and spirited, bright and brave, like the wind racing across an open field. The moment our eyes met, her cheeks flushed. I fell for her. At 20, I broke ties with my family and came to Jingbei on my own to start a business. My girl followed me without a second thought, and we lived together in a 5-square-meter basement. It was damp and cramped, and our clothes never fully dried. Watching her sleeping soundly in my arms, I swore to give her a better life. She's impressive, excelling both in vision and eloquence. Initially, many clients came specifically for her. 23 years old, the company got on the right track. I bought this lakeside villa, and she really likes it. After the company stabilized, I felt for her and let her stay at home as a full-time wife, securing the home front. On our anniversary that year, I asked her where she wanted to travel. She said she wanted to go to a tropical island, but considering the company couldn't do without me, I promised to make the island the destination of our honeymoon trip. 25 years old, a friend's company just hired a new secretary. He wanted to introduce her to me over dinner and drinks. Agreed on impulse. Her name is Yu Jing. She resembled Lin Xiao in her youth, radiant and sunny, just very clumsy at work. Unlike Lin Xiao's cleverness, yet there's an endearing charm to her clumsiness. 29 years old, I lie alone in the vast villa, empty, lifeless. Every time after socializing, I return alone to a home with no one else. As usual, he tugged at his tie and groaned uncomfortably. Xiao Xiao, I'm so thirsty. No one turns on a warm lamp for me. No one brings me a cup of hot water. The morning perilla porridge is gone forever. All that answered me was boundless darkness and silence. At that moment, overwhelming regret pressed down on me until I could barely breathe. I picked up my phone again and skillfully booked a ticket to the island. I had the driver take me to the airport, where I just sat there, waiting for the soonest flight the next day. Lin Xiao didn't know. In fact, over the years, every time I missed her, I would go to the island to secretly visit her, watching her laugh heartily and genuinely at school. No longer my caged bird but a free-soaring eagle, just like when we first met. 31 years old, Lin Xiao got married. I had someone look into him. He graduated from one of China's top 3 universities, comes from a wealthy family, and is emotionally stable. She met him while traveling. Later, the young man followed Lin Xiao and also came to teach in the fishing village. The two of them often took walks along the coastline in the evenings. The quiet sunlight bathed them, making them look perfectly matched. As for me, I've spent most of the past 6 months on the island, secretly watching their happiness, like a shadowy rat, spying on the lives of others. I know it's wrong, but I can't help myself. 36 years old, Lin Xiao gave birth to a daughter, who looks just like her. As the girl grew a bit older, she turned out to be the spitting image of Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao seemed to have completely forgotten about me. I mustered up the courage to go and say hello to her, but she looked at me as if I were a stranger. We passed each other without a moment's pause. After that, I never inquired about Lin Xiao's news again.